We all know what these are. Now would the awkwardness of going near them to give me CPR stop you? 8,200 women and more could have survived. That's not a fake figure. That is from the British Heart Foundation. Women are statistically less likely to receive bystander CPR because of the awkwardness around breasts and going near them. This has to stop. And even when I think back to when I used to do first aid at school, we always practiced on a flat-chested male torso. Women are statistically less likely to receive bystander CPR because of this taboo and this awkwardness around women's breasts. With training still being like that, it means that people are only getting sort of comfortable and associated with giving bystander CPR to a flat chest. There are multiple studies that show if you practice on a female mannequin or a mannequin with breast pads attached, will significantly improve someone's confidence in giving a woman CPR. Please support the Everyday STEMinist super important petition to make it mandatory for all CPR and first aid training to practice on female body mannequins or with at least breast attachments on them. This is super important and super vital, and like the figures say, 8,200 plus women could have still been here.
We've spent the last decade watching women record men at the gym just for glancing in their direction, labelling every uninvited touch as a violation and every social approach as predatory. Now, the British Heart Foundation is confused because men are hesitating to put their hands on a strange woman's chest in public. It's the ultimate cause and effect loop. When you cultivate a culture where a man's reputation can be ended by a misunderstood gesture, you create a rational incentive for that man to keep his hands to himself, even when the stakes are life and death. She thinks the solution is practicing on mannequins with breast pads, but she's missing the psychological wall that's been built. It isn't awkwardness or taboo that's stopping men, it's a survival instinct. Men have been conditioned to see a woman's personal space as a legal minefield, and now the social engineers are shocked that the hands-off policy they demanded is being applied across the board. You can't spend years pathologizing male proximity and then act surprised when men decide that the risk of being taken to court outweighs the reward of playing the hero. They've successfully incentivized apathy, and these statistics are just the natural receipt for the environment they've insisted on creating.
It's your fault.
I promise I am not a man hater, but anytime I see like a video of men having fun, it actually knocks me a bit sick. Like, this is quite specific, but especially if they're in like a beach club, they've got swimming shorts on, they're holding like a glass and they're like dancing, they're like, hey! I literally feel I feel bile coming up my esophagus, like into my mouth, and I feel like I'm gonna projectile vomit everywhere. Usually I don't, but and it's not a real life thing. Like, if I saw you in real life having fun, I wouldn't mind, but it's specifically videos, pictures, just having fun, like having a good time. I don't like it, but don't listen to me. Like, honestly, this is just my opinion. It's opinion based.
Listen to the physiological, visceral reaction she has just seeing men exist in a state of joy without her being the center of it. She's claiming she isn't a man-hater, yet the mere sight of men enjoying a beach club makes her feel physically ill.
She's an idiot.
Good riddance. You look lovely before and after makeup. And where are you going to find a woman in today's day and age, particularly in the West, who doesn't like a little bit of camouflage, a little bit of makeup? So what, every time you see your wife in the morning, you're going to chuck her out, kick her to the side? Loser.
It does look like she was beaten with an ugly stick.
I don't know why y'all think it's the wildest thing in the world that I am obedient. If my man tells me to shut up, I'm shutting up. I'm so obedient, it's crazy. Very submissive over here. Very obedient. What? On Sunday, my man told me not to change my outfit. So I didn't. Like, it's just that simple. You tell me what to do and I do it. Usually with no questions. I don't even know why that's so crazy. Like, and it's not even like, oh, he's controlling. It's not a him thing, baby. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. I like that. Lead me. Lead me. Lead me. Shut up. Okay. Respectfully. Only respectfully. Don't disrespect me. But respectful shut up, or respectful, like, be quiet for a second.
You're hearing a woman admit that she finds comfort in boundaries, provided they're set by a man she actually respects. When she says, "lead me," she's describing the psychological relief of not having to be the CEO of the relationship. The reason people think it's crazy is because we've been told for decades that women want total autonomy, but the second a man with actual authority shows up, the script flips and she starts enjoying the very thing she's supposed to hate.
There's no question about that.
This video is for men on dating apps. If you're not a man on a dating app, you can keep scrolling. I had the same situation happen twice this week with two very different men, and I want to dissuade and educate all men to not do this. One thing that is like the biggest ick in the entire world and seems to be like a growing thing that's happening in modern society. I was talking to a younger guy who's super fit, does CrossFit, triathlons, looks amazing. And then I was separately talking to an older man who was in his late 40s, who's much closer to my age, who has a very big, confident ego, but isn't like into working out. First guy was talking to me about how he liked that I was athletic and he thought that that was like a really big turn on. And then he sent me a photo of himself after he had worked out and said, "This is my obligatory, gym selfie." And I said, "Oh my God, your abs are insane." And I said something about the structure of his abs. And he said, "I get the impression you're going to want me to walk around shirtless a lot in the house together." And I was immediately like, ick, ick. The other guy I had matched with, because his profile, like the older man, his profile had come up for me about 6 or 7 times in a week. And I had passed by it. Although it was rather interesting, I had passed over it. And finally, when I saw it for the 6th or 7th time, I was like, what is going on? And I sent him a message. I just sent him a like, and I sent him a message and said, "Listen, I know you've passed over my profile as much as I've passed over yours. If I'm seeing yours 6 or 7 times, you've definitely seen mine. I'm just, curious why the app would show us each other's profile so much. So let's just go ahead and talk, get out of the way, and see if there's a reason here and the app knows something that we don't." Then we started talking, and he said something to me later about like, "Ooh, I really like a woman who knows what she wants and goes after it," and made some comment about me pursuing him. When I couldn't have been more clear that I skipped over his profile 6 or 7 times, but my curiosity led me to match with him. While these two scenarios were very different, they were basically the same thing, which is where men are falling into this trap of needing women to admire them in some way, whether it be physical or emotional. And that's like the biggest ick that a man could ever possibly put in front of a woman. Any man that wants a woman to admire him physically immediately comes off as ultra feminine. And for a man to say something about, and a woman pursuing him, again, puts him in the feminine position. Please stop doing that. Women are meant to be admired by men.
You're watching the ultimate disconnect between what women say they want in a man and the biological reality of what actually keeps them around. They'll tell you they want a man who puts them on a pedestal, who worships the ground they walk on, and who spends his day admiring her like she's a museum exhibit. But the second you actually start looking up to her, the attraction dies. To her, admiration from a man she views as an equal or a subordinate isn't a compliment, it's a signal of weakness. It tells her that you found your ceiling, and unfortunately for you, that ceiling is her. The incentive structure for women is built on hypergamy, which means they are psychologically wired to seek out the man they can respect, admire, and look up to. It's a classic behavioural contradiction. She'll demand your total adoration while her heart only chases the man who is too busy building his own world to stare at hers.
Leave her. She's lost it.
Real men of genius.